And it's quite a depth to go, isn't it? To cut your eye open like that. Everyone's seen the picture.
This is Jonathan Lang, your fifth Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Matchroom CEO Frank Smith here in Las Vegas, head of Benn against Dobson tomorrow night, live on DAZN. Frank, before we get into all of that, Fury against Usyk is off. What was your reaction when you heard the news?
Yeah, it's terrible to see because it's been a long time coming, that undisputed heavyweight championship, and it was so close. It was so close, and a lot of people have worked very hard to make it happen, and I know that the work that goes in for an event of that magnitude is huge. So yeah, terrible to see. Hopefully they can get it set back up very quickly and we can see an undisputed heavyweight champion.
You've been involved in so many fights where it gets cut at the last minute. What's it like behind the scenes when something like this is going on, in terms of what the promoters are doing and who makes the call to postpone it?
Well, look, I think with a cut like that, it's quite a simple thing to call. There's no question that he can't fight with that kind of cut, obviously. So, but a lot of people, I think it happened, I don't know, earlier today, didn't it? There'll be so much going on and everyone wants their answer and every journalist is on asking what's going on, but you're actually trying to make plans and schedule what could go there. Look, it's a lot of work and effort that would have gone into that event in itself. There's a lot of investment and money that would have gone into any event that you put on, especially an event of that magnitude. So I'm sure, part of it will be looking at whether they keep the show on, but it's not good to see. No one wants to see it, and but we've all been there, in other moments. But it's just the fight is of huge magnitude, and it was so close.
Obviously, there's skeptics online about this saying, "Do we believe him? All this?" Would you respond to them? What's your reaction to people saying maybe it's not true?
I mean, it's quite a depth to go, isn't it? To cut your eye open like that. Everyone's seen the picture if they don't believe it's true. But that's Twitter, isn't it? That's social media. Everyone's an expert. Everyone's got every answer. So just have to let them get on with it. You're not going to necessarily change their minds. But I don't think you're getting it. It looked like an elbow from the footage that's come out. But I don't think you're cutting your eye open like that. To be honest, he's going to be out for with a cut like that. You'd guess a few months at least. So yeah, Twitter's an amazing place, isn't it?
In terms of your plans, where does this leave the winner of, if Joshua beats Ngannou, as far as you're concerned? Does the Usyk trilogy, is that the next best fight, would you say?
But look, I think this is part of the thing of always looking, people talking about what's next, and it's not a sport. It's such a difficult sport to do that in, because look at Ngannou could have upset the whole thing when he fought Fury that time. He upset the date, obviously, because that had to get delayed. But it's hard to look beyond. You just got to focus on what's ahead. So March 8th, and then go from there. I don't think you say about the Usyk fight. I'd guess by the time it all comes back round, that's when the rescheduled Usyk Fury fight would happen. Is sort of June time, because AJ's not going to fight March and then April, for example. So. I don't know. It doesn't. In my eyes, it doesn't change that. AJ's just got to focus on March 8th, and we go from there.
So there was no thought process when you heard the news, thinking, how are we going to manoeuvre this if Joshua wins? There was no thought like that.
Because it's day by day. This business, it's like that's that's a bit of a nightmare. But we're not directly involved in. We're not involved in the fight. So, but. So many. We got to get to March 8th as well, and that's the business we're in. It's there's so many variables in there. So to start looking beyond and go, but that could affect something in September, October, November, December. There's so many things that could affect that, and that's I think just because we're used to the way the sport is.
All right, back onto this fight. Tomorrow night, Conor Benn returns here in Las Vegas. Talk to me about the fight. Someone's always got to go here, Frank.
Yeah, look. I actually only got here yesterday afternoon, so I missed the press conference, but I watched it, and but they got each other going. Pete Dobson's been talking it up. I think it's going to be an entertaining first few rounds. I think they're going to go out there and have a go, and that's what we love about Conor Benn. He's ferocious, and he's great to watch, and I think we're in for a great fight.
Peter Dobson's been talking a good game this week, and even before this week, there's some people online saying we don't believe him. Conor's just going to go through and walk through him and get rid of him in a couple of rounds. I mean, after everything Dobson said, surely, it'd be ridiculous if that happens, if he doesn't come to fight tomorrow night.
Look, I think he's coming to fight. I think he'll turn up to fight. He's 16-0, and this is his big opportunity to go in there and do a job on Conor Benn. So he's got a big opportunity here to go and change his life and his career. And this is if there's a fight to do it in, this is the fight you do it in. So I think we're in for an entertaining fight. It could end early though. Especially the way Conor Benn is, go out there and want to take his head off.
I know Eubank Jr trains here in Las Vegas. Is he coming tomorrow night?
I don't think he's in Las Vegas. I think he might be. I don't think he's here. I think he might be in the Middle East. I don't believe so.
I'm sure you would have seen Chris Eubank Sr.'s comments earlier this week saying that the fight with Conor Benn won't happen at 160 because Eubank Jr. is walking around at 187. He said that Harlem Eubank is the best option for Conor Benn if he wins tomorrow night, and Eddie's saying we're not interested in that. What do you make of the comments?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't watch it. I promise you, I didn't watch it. I try and steer clear of family politics and boxing discussions, if I'm honest. It's an easier way to do it. Look, for me, speaking about the fights, the Chris Eubank Jr. fight is still the fight out there we'd love to make, but we've spoken about it so much. We'd love, I'm sure we will make that in the future at some point.
So, I mean, it's a good point because obviously, family and business, but are you directly involved in these talks, or do you leave that to someone else when it comes to this fight?
No, I deal with Chris's promoter. When we have done the fight previously, when we've had discussions, I deal with Chris's promoter, obviously which is Callis Howland and Wasserman. But I'm still involved in it. But at certain points I step away, and very much in the public. It's easier not. You can't upset anyone if you don't say anything that way.
Yeah. And just talking about Japan, how was Ed Sheeran?
Yeah, he's got a new karaoke band member. I'm probably, if boxing keeps throwing up too many surprises, I'll probably just end up going on tour with him and just doing a little karaoke number probably opening act, something like that. Maybe that could be my future. Probably
a less stressful life than boxing. But let's talk about your prize fighter series you've just announced. It's an interesting concept because there's a lot of guys there who could potentially make this $1 million, or is it $1 million? And that's the kind of money they wouldn't get normally, right?
Yeah, it's the $1 million, like you say, which is a huge amount of money, but it's also the future, what it sets up for them. Whoever comes out of this tournament can walk into a huge middleweight fight, and that's the opportunity for them, because you've got eight fighters in there. And look, I'm not going to sit here and say you've got 8 of the top 10 middleweights. You haven't, but what you've got is 4 great quarterfinals. It's going to be brilliant semis, and then obviously the final, the latter part of the year that sets them up. Got a $100,000 KO bonus for every round of it as well. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be fights people want to see, and people actually buy into the concept as well. And sometimes you could put bigger names in other fights, but won't generally, or might not deliver the same numbers that I think this prize fighter will deliver, because people have really bought into it. You saw the reaction on social media, look, this is going to change not just the winner, but even the runner-up. Probably it's change their life and get them big fights and massive opportunities.
Just lastly, I spoke to Eddie yesterday about Boots Ennis, and he said that you're still talking with him, but he's hearing that potentially he's fighting Barrios next. Is that sort of those talks parked, or what's the situation?
I think everyone would be talking to him. Everyone would love to work with him. He's a brilliant fighter. But yeah, no further news. But I don't believe anything's signed yet. But let's see. It would be great to work with him. Obviously, as there's a number of names as well we're talking to currently.
Frank, appreciate your time. Just finally, just tell us, for those who are on the fence tomorrow night, should we watch Buatsi Aziz? Should we watch Ben Dobson? Why should they tune in to Ben Dobson?
Because you've got one of the most ferocious fighters right now in Conor Benn, and he's going to go out there and do a demolition job, and it's going to be great entertainment. Tune in live on DAZN. About 10:30 UK time. Don't miss it.
So Frank, we did a bit earlier on today, but I'm here at the 5K. How was it for you, first of all?
Amazing, mate. I broke my record pace.
What was your time?
22 minutes 55 seconds. The jet lag's doing me wonders.
That is impressive. Just wanted to ask you a couple of things about the Fury Usyk situation. What's your understanding on where things are at with that? Because there were some reports that the show's completely off. What do you know at this stage?
Yeah, I've only read the same statement I think everyone else has read from His Excellency, which says the fight will be rescheduled. But it doesn't really. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure if there's a change. Your light's just gone off. Does it make any difference? No. I'm not sure it makes. I'm not sure what the update is. Whether there's discussions around another fight. I've seen lots of internet rumours. We're probably in a similar position to you. You hear lots of things, but look, I'm sure they're working very hard in the background to get things together. We've been in a position where with fights getting called off, and with a fight of this magnitude, it's tough. There's a lot of things they're working through. So, I wish them the best, and hopefully they'll have news soon, I'm sure.
Just wanted to get your reaction to David Haye's come out referencing when his fight with Fury got cancelled, and he was basically saying that at that time he got a load of stick from Fury, and now this same thing has happened. What do you make of that? Is are people being harsh towards Fury, or do you think someone like David Haye would have a right to say that to him?
I think it's natural. I think that's the way things go. When people talk a lot about other people, and then you're always going to get a response, no matter how long after it is. So, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it's just if you say things about one person, then when you have a moment happen, you're going to get it back. That's life, isn't it? So it doesn't really surprise me, and that's the sport we're in as well. A lot of people do a lot of talking, and then it comes back round, and we've all been in that position.
Just one thing I think I forgot to ask you earlier, Haney Garcia, have you had any chats with Bill Haney, and do you think you'll be involved? Because De La Hoya seemed to suggest that he was a free agent and things like that.
Eddie's met with Bill Haney. I spoke to Eric Gomez I think last week around it, but Eddie's been talking to Bill Haney, so I'm sure update soon on that. We've got a great relationship with Evan, and those discussions will continue.
All right, Frank, appreciate the time.
Cheers, mate.